Hi, loves. Dijana here. Welcome to Nova Holistic episode 20. Can you believe it? We're up to episode 20. Um, yeah, what a ride. So, on this auspicious day for episode 20, I'd like to welcome you. Let me first say that due to some circumstances, unfortunately, I was not able to have my previously advertised guest on the podcast. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about um, a particular theme that I'm observing that's emerging really quite strongly in the collective consciousness, let's say. So I'm going to talk to you today about how to follow your inner compass. Now, let me tell you what's been happening. I have been asked this question quite often recently about how do I know what's best for me? So remember, I'm referring to what is the theme for the podcast, which is holistic health and well-being. So hence Nova Holistic. How do I know what's best for me? How do I decide? How do I discern, one thing over something else? Should I go to when something's wrong, should I go to a GP, a doctor, or should I go and seek out a naturopath, or a dietitian, or a psychologist, or a counsellor? How do I know what's best for me? And here's the thing. The answer to all of those questions is to learn to trust your inner guidance. By default, as people, as um, an intelligent organism and a consciousness on this planet, we have this inbuilt instinct and intuition, a compass which is there to guide us, right? In in your life, right? Oh, how's this? Oh my goodness. Here's another thing, right? Let me finish that thought first. So it's like, for example, how does a tree know when to flower? When the weather's warm and the sun comes out, when it's a certain temperature? Like there are these natural, intrinsic, inbuilt parts of our consciousness that that are there, right, to help guide us through our life. A lot of this connection, this natural flow, the flow in which we get to be to our highest potential, has just about been beaten out of us and replaced with external distractions. So, computers and ideas and fashions and materialistic goals and career goals and money and on and on and on it goes, right? Um, But when we discover and when we are ready and we begin to receive that call from our heart and our soul, which is an internal message, we begin to ask those questions about how do I make my life better? How do I discern whether this is for me or that is for me? Whether this path, is going to lead me ultimately to what I feel my soul is calling for more, or is it this one? The answer to all of that, going back to the beginning of this podcast, is to strengthen your connection with that. Well, I'm calling it within this instance the inner compass, but really it's your intuition, it's your soul, it's your inner dialogue, it's your in your body, certain physiological messages or feelings that you might get. It's an emotion, it's a state of being, such as peace, for example, or joy. All of these things are markers that tell you or indicate at the very least to you that yes, something is going to serve you in the best possible way, or no, this is not for you. So the answer to the question, how to follow your inner compass, is to strengthen the relationship with yourself, within yourself, so that you have enough of a connection with your inner processing in order to be able to receive those messages loud and clear. So it's a little bit like, um, so let's say this. I'm just trying to think of an example. So you've got so sometimes when I walk in the street, right, I only put one pod into my ear so I can still hear what's going on around me. But if the noise on the street or around me is so loud, right, that it over, uh, um, uh, that it basically, um, what's the right word? Mutes what I'm listening to. So, for example, I might be listening to a positive podcast or something funny, or some music, right? That keeps me at a vibration, at a high vibration, right? Um, but the external noise is so loud, I may not be getting the messages, the music, the words loud and clear within my ear. I didn't mean to sound like a poet then, but so be it. So it's a little bit like that when it comes to being able to listen to your own inner guidance or inner compass, right? Um, so you want to be connected to your internal voice regularly in order to receive loud and clear messages, right? Um, if that is not happening right now, then what are the things that you can do in order to begin to practice and have the discipline to strengthen this relationship with those different parts of yourself? So, one of the things that you that I will recommend that you can do is to regularly practice stillness, right? And so that's when I say stillness, what I mean is to sit or stand or just bring your attention into your body several times throughout the day. And you can do that by closing your eyes, sitting down, I don't know, standing up somewhere really nice, or just at your desk if you're at work. Just close your eyes. You can literally put your hands, the palms of your hands are really sensitive, right? You can put them over your belly button and allow your hand to feel the rhythm of your breath, the way your body moves in and out, expand, contract as you're breathing, and then just focus on your breath, not in any particular way, nothing other than just to focus within yourself. Create like a central space, right? The belly button area where you can just close your eyes and stop. And just for a minute or two, simply breathe and connect with the rhythm of your body, the rhythm of your breath, that internal function, right? In time, as you practice this every day, over a period of few weeks, pretty quickly, you will retrain your brain to respond automatically to that state of stillness as a health and well-being and a self-care act, right? It's like a gift to yourself, but also in that stillness, right? What is happening inside, the volume of what's going on inside of you will start to get louder. So it's like you're tuning into another way. You will sometimes hear or read people use the word attune, right? Attune meaning tuning into. So what you're doing is you're coming back into yourself, you're tuning into your own frequency, and then you're putting the volume up so that you can hear that those internal parts of you louder and with more clarity, right? So the kinesthetic approach, meaning touch and doing, is that touching your body, right? Have a system. You could also put your hand over your heart and see if you can, in time, get a sense, a felt sense, and a heard sense for your actual human heartbeat, right? So you're using your physiological and internal functions to connect more with yourself. Now, remember, we are only really talking about this as a matter of few seconds. I'm not asking you to levitate in the corner. I'm not asking you to be a yogi or to be a monk somewhere, from the Himalayas or anything like that. These are effective daily routines and methods that anybody can apply in their lives, right? So the stillness, using breath, using kinesthetic aspect, using the auditory, listening for aspect, using your breath so that you can actually do some breath work. Breath work meaning working your breath to achieve an outcome, breathing in and then slowly exhaling. You can count consciously, just being focused on your breath, or you can just work with your own natural rhythm and continuing to use your breath until it slowly begins to slow down and center more inside of you, in the center of your body. You can use music, sound healing, or solfeggio frequency. So like the frequency, the different bands of frequency in terms of music that help raise your vibration. And there are like tons of those on YouTube that you can find. If you not sure how anything is spelled, then please just write me a message and I'll reply. You can literally drink some water, right? Set an intention of maybe peace and calm and stillness. Take a drink of water and then really feel how the water is traveling through your system, right? Imagine. So using the right side of your brain, yeah, so you're imagining the water trickling down, right, into your organs and through your body, flowing through your body. You are activating the right side of your brain, and basically, where um, imagination sits and creativity, you're using creating visualization tools to help support your intention of stillness. Those are other, um, that's another really easy way of practicing connecting with those parts of yourself. So, all of these little acts of self respect, self care, strengthen your relationship with yourself, because very quickly you're going to know, you're going to find out, you're going to get messages from within yourself about what you like, what you don't like, which piece of music is better, which is not, what is your mood, which parts of you, like to talk to you most, which parts of you are a little bit dormant and you need to work on a little bit more, which parts of you are quite loud and you can get clarity, and other parts of you that are not so much and they don't really want to converse, if you will, very quickly. So those are some of the really simple ways in which you can begin to strengthen your relationship with yourself, within yourself. And like any other good relationship, a lot of that is communication and holding space for that communication to occur, and then having the courage um, to really be present in order to hear what needs to be said, what needs to be expressed and received by you from that most wholesome, honest intention. Okay. Now, I wrote something else down. That's right. So, as I want to talk to you about what are the actual benefits of um, following, giving yourself permission to follow your inner compass. And I want to talk to you about it in holistic terms. So, the benefit to mental health, emotional health, physical health, and spiritual or energetic health, right? So when you develop a strong relationship with yourself and you have an open, completely present and open communication channel from all different parts of yourself, right? That relationship means that your mind, right, your cognitive process, your thoughts don't have to worry about looking out for danger. They don't have to worry about being in danger, right? You being in danger. You don't have to worry about not being able to perceive a potential problem being present because you know that your internal guidance will alert you if there is anything wrong, right? Or if there is potentially a flag situation, meaning your internal process will flag something to you, right? Oh, check that out. I'm not sure that didn't sound quite right. Or let me just check it out. Or, oh my God, that is so much better than what I thought it might be an option, right? When you're at peace in your mind, when there is a when there is mental health, right? There is mental health, then there is peace in your mind. There's no fog, or if there is fog, you trust that the fog will clear. You're able to make sense of those inner dialogues, inner narratives, and clear them for yourself, and also soothe any problematic inner dialogues, right? So having a really strong connection with yourself creates an innate trust in yourself and allows for greater mental peace and harmony and balance, and therefore helps reduce anxious thinking, right? That lack mentality, um, the mentality where you see, that inner dialogue is always alert, hypersensitive to anything around you because you see a problem everywhere and you're just not able to relax in your head because that internal strength is uh, uh, is not a foundation within your body, right? Now, emotional health. Well, if you have a really strong connection with yourself and you are trusting that your inner guidance or inner compass will guide you according to your highest and best outcomes in your life, then that inner peace, not just in the mind, but in the body, in the heart. See, I keep saying peace for both examples, because inner peace essentially is my marker that I'm on track. When I don't have enough peace and I feel off balance, my life is a lot more is experienced in a lot more fractured way. So inner peace is really important for me, but I do know that for other people, it's also joy. Joy can be a huge marker in the emotional body in terms of a person's emotional health and well-being, that internal peace and harmony, right? Sorry, balance and harmony. And it could be many other things, right? So it doesn't have to be one thing. But what I'm saying is that your relationship with yourself within, and trusting that um, uh, that inner guidance is always reliable and it's always working for you. And it's not just always working for you, but it's always working for your absolute highest outcomes. It's huge. It's huge. It doesn't mean that that you don't have to trust other people, but it just means that you're not at the mercy of other people ever, like ever, because you have your own trusty, like, spidey senses, and they're operational. Um, okay, now, let's now add physical health to this. Just a moment. So, what is a good example that I can give you? Okay, well, here's one. This is actually a connection between physical health, inner guidance, and energetic or spiritual health as well. So, here's the thing. And I'm saying this example because I was very much in there, and it's something that I've had to work on over many years, right, to really sort of get it right better. Um, you've chosen to be born in this life, and you are experiencing, and you have a life lesson. And the life lesson is that you need to learn how to set boundaries and have a greater self respect, because you do a lot of pleasing, right? Other people pleasing, right? Now, people pleasing can play out in many ways, of course, but one of the ways in which people pleasing plays out a lot is when we people don't treat us very well, for example, right? Or a family member, a friend, a partner is not treating you well, but you don't want to rock the boat, and therefore you don't speak your truth. Everything inside your body is screaming and wants to say something, set some boundaries, but you don't feel you're worth it, or there's some sort of a sense of self-sacrifice or something, whatever the story is, right? I'm not going to tell you why you do that. I'm just using this as an example. So here's the thing. When you ignore parts of yourself that are trying to talk to you, right? And you are sabotaging that most important relationship, which is the relationship with yourself, and you continue to suppress what you actually feel, what you're actually thinking, right? Then that act of suppressing your truth and shutting down your inner guidance is going to get stuck as an energy bubble right? Inside your body. And one of the first things that will then happen or can happen, right, is that suppressed energy will look to come out in some way. And if you are not letting it come out in terms of words, as in speaking your truth, and you are swallowing your truth back down and suppressing what you really need to say, then that energy will sit there and it will create a physical illness so that you have no choice but to look at it, right? And sometimes, right, so um, uh, energetically speaking, right, what that can be is there's an energetic portal here, right? It's a center, an energy center called the throat chakra, right? And its purpose is to transform and transmute energy, right? It's like a energetic center where kind of through which you interact energetically with yourself and with the world around you, right? So when you suppress what you need to say and you don't respect your own truth, then this center gets blocked. That's that energy block. And that energy block, like I said, will then look to come out. And it can come out in many ways. One of the ways in which that energy, blocked energy, can come out is through physical illness. And so you might get a sore throat, you might get a chest infection, you might get some sort of an ailment that is in direct connection to you not speaking your truth. But when you have that beautiful, organic, natural relationship with yourself, within yourself, then it keeps your center, your physical vitality in balance and harmony as well. It's really important. Yeah. Um, and then, of course, last but not least, of course, the spiritual health, spiritual meaning that sense of purpose, that energy, that quantum aspect of your body. So the unseen. Um, I've already talked about the throat chakra. So that center, for example, will continue to function at its primal. You will be able to receive, and you will also be able to speak your truth with fullest compassion, with joy, with peace, with a heart open, with the mind open. Respect what your inner guidance is telling you, i.e., respect yourself. And when you can respect yourself, then you can fully respect others. And so that's why that, I should say, that's how this particular um, I'm so sorry, my headset just died. I hope you can still hear me. So, like I was saying, this is why the behavior, the conscious behavior of following, intending, and then following your inner guidance is so important. And what I've talked to you for the last 10, 15 minutes is what are the benefits, the holistic health and well-being benefits to putting some effort into that behavior. And so once you nurture that beautiful relationship with yourself, you are nurturing yourself, you're not abandoning yourself, you're not suppressing yourself, you're not creating problems, internal problems for yourself that can come out as mental disharmony, emotional disharmony and disease, physical disharmony and disease, spiritual disharmony, and blah, 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 right? All of those things. So you're looking after yourself. You give a shit about your health and well-being. And these are all the things that you can do yourself for yourself at no cost at all, with minimal effort, right? And then as this becomes an important daily practice, then whenever there's an opportunity, you are ready to receive. Whenever you have to make a decision, then you do it yourself, but also hand in hand with all of these different parts of you that will guide you, right? This way or that way. And if you can't really decide, then try something. And then in the process of doing inner masculine energy, your inner feminine will be able to help you decide, observe, and then decide about what seems like the more beneficial choice for your highest good, meaning for the evolution of your soul. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. Feel free to watch this once or twice. Take some notes. Send me a message if you need to. You can find me on my website, Dijana.org. If you want to talk about how to implement this discipline into your life, we can set up a meeting. And I hope you find it helpful. I also want to say that a practice like this, a discipline like this, will also help you with the discerning what truth is best for you in your world, right? So that you are not just swallowing, any truth that is given to you on the 6 o'clock news or 7 o'clock news or 5 o'clock, whatever time the news is on. Be discerning, be intelligent, be mature, be responsible about your own holistic health and well-being. You are not just your head, you are not just your brain, you are not just your thoughts, and you're most certainly not your bank account. So I wish you well. I love you heaps. As always, I'm here for you if you need anything. Bye, my loves.